meet my bride. Let's go for a ride in my newfangled automobile. Just where we will go, nobody knows, but it's sure a great way to feel. Behind the wheel of the Speed Meter Steel, it's my newfangled automobile.
The day of the tour had come. At about 8 a.m. we all met at Ochre Court in Newport, Rhode Island, and the chateau was as beautiful inside as it was outside. Breakfast was served and we all received the route and instructions for the tour. We all had about 2 hours to do any final preparations to our respective cars. Gary and Howard, the 1904 St. Louis's dynamic duo, went through the final checks on the car, while other teams are doing the same for their cars. And there were a lot of cars, a lot of people, and of course, a lot of noise.
Delicious. So, what did you have? No spark?
Correct. Okay, so as we can see, we're here at the chateau. Various cars are here. That over there in the distance is Gary and Howard desperately trying to fix some sort of electrical problem with the car. They know what they're doing, so I'm just staying out of their way at this moment. But we have that one. There's got a nice little Piercero here. Oh boy, there's a Massachusetts car here. All right, this guy here, a little 1901 International. Got another couple curved dash Oldsmobiles here. Here's a Panhard and Levasseur. This is a 1901 12 horsepower model. This is the same model Panhard that Camille Dugas drove in the 1901 Paris to Berlin. This is the same model car that she drove. Have a 01 Winton here. This is a Boyer. Okay, another car. Now this is a Packard. Now this, as you see, this Packard has a steering wheel, so that indicates that this is a Model C Packard from 1901. Now this car here, this is a Yale. This is also a 1901, I believe. Yale was built in Toledo, Ohio, from 1901 to 1905. And beautiful car, twin cylinder. We have another curved ass Oldsmobile here. Here's Gary and Howard trying to find out. There's some issues showing up with the car, and I know better. I'm just going to stay out of their way. Otherwise, I will just make them mad. Okay, let's see who else is coming in here. All right, looks like we've got another Winter coming in. Let's go to the other side, see what we see. And here's your basic Piercero. Now, I know you hear the phrase, by their headlights you will know them, but Piercero didn't actually start putting the headlights into the fenders until 1912. And this particular model is a 1905. Now let's scoot over here. We have a Fiat. Now this is going to be a 4-cylinder Fiat. Looks like 1906, I'd say. Yeah, no, 1905. But got some presence there. And of course you've got your Stanley. Got to have a Stanley. I mean, it's kind of a requirement for this sort of thing. Now this is the Stevens Duryea. This was indicates this as being post 1903. In fact, this is a 1905. Because it was that time that the Duryea brothers were already in trouble and stopped building the high wheelers and were trying to restart their company. Unfortunately, Duryea didn't survive much longer. They were out of business by 1916. Ah, yes. Oldsmobile. Now, this is not a curved dash Oldsmobile. This is a little more technological than that. And then here's the thing. Technically not a Pierce Arrow, that is a Great Arrow. This is the car that eventually they renamed the company Pierce Arrow because of this car. That's a pretty thing.
At 10 a.m., the cars began the tour. About once a minute or so, these intrepid automotive veterans sallied forth towards the Bristol Harbor Inn. Well, most of them did.
1901 Panhard and Levistor, 12 horsepower. This is the same model car that Camille Dugas drove in the 1901 Paris to Berlin race. Wow. There we go. There's a 1901 Winton. All right, 1902 Yale. Built in Toledo, Ohio. There we go. Here's your basic 1904 curved dash Oldsmobile.
Wonderful car.
All right, here's the Boyer. 1902 Boyer. All right, here's the other Winton. This being a 1904. Okay. And here's your Packard. There's your Packard. This was James Packard's response to the Winton. And he said, I hate that Winton. I'm going to make a better car. And this is the car he did. Now there's an Oldsmobile. 1904 Oldsmobile. There's a Arrow. That's what started the Pierce Arrow. And Stevens Duryea. Look at that, Stevens Duryea. Here comes your Stanley steamer. I mean, you knew a Stanley steamer would be in this, right? Looks like an 06.
Have a great ride.
Now we've got a Fiat here. Not the beast to turn, but sounds enough for it. And the Pierce Arrow. Notice that the headlights are not in the middle of it. They're on the fenders. They didn't do that till 1912. Another Pierce Arrow coming by here. Also again,
The 04 St. Louis was having some electrical problems. It would start, but lose spark not long after and give up the ghost. A rather frantic Gary and Howard had been troubleshooting for well over an hour, and it would seem that it would take some heroic efforts to get her on the road.
And at this point, at least we weren't the only one.
The problem turned out to be the battery. It was over 10 years old, and the changes in temperature along the way to Newport weakened it badly. Through some off-the-scenes heroics performed by Ellen and Andrew, a replacement battery was secured and brought on site at breakneck speed.
Okay, we may be alive after all. We're running. It's alive. It's alive.
And so, after a bit of celebration, the 04 St. Louis was on the road. We did have to stop midway to Bristol Harbor to make some adjustments and a restroom break, but we were soon off again. When you're dealing with cars of this era, you never know what's going to happen. But we got the right people, and we'll be on the road. We're going to get this rally done. Is that right? Are we going to get this done?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Look at that. Up and going again. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Not exactly the cannonball run, but it's a run. And so here we are in Bristol Harbor. There's a few cars that still didn't quite make it. We passed them on the route. It was, yeah, I know the Packard didn't. We passed them and maybe a few others. But beautiful scene. After 20 miles of a little bit of headaches. Let's see, we had battery failure on the St. Louis as well as a slip clutch, but we still made it. All right, so here we got a locomobile. I'm guessing an 05. The locomobile completely got out of making steam cars by 1904, and so this is where we start seeing them trying to get their name in the gas-powered cars. This has a race body. But of course, Locomobile didn't do a whole lot with the races for long, because they became one of the premier luxury cars of the United States of the first quarter of the 20th century. Now that we were all at Bristol Harbor, it was time for birthday speeches.
This is what comes of planning an event like this on your birthday. But Donald, we wish to wish you, I'd like to wish you, we'd all like to wish you a happy birthday, and we need you to come up here with a knife and cut something. So congratulations, happy birthday, Donald.
That's all right. It's always one for Kate. It's like Jello. Did you use a VR22?
You can do it if you want.
Sounds like Lucy, I think about 8 modes working. That's
Happy birthday, Donald.
And, of course, prepare to drive back to Ochre Point. All of us made it to Bristol. I mean, here's the 04 Winton. Big difference from the 01. Of course, gotta have your Stanley. Made it just fine. Now, this is a Pierce before it was Pierce Aero. This is actually one of the Aero cars that inspired the Pierce Aero. This isn't a merry Oldsmobile. This is a getting serious Oldsmobile. Ah, the Packard made it. I remember we passed them. They had some issues, but they got it. I believe this is... Okay, I believe this is a Model C. And the Panhard and Levasseur. There it is. Made it no problem. That's Camille Degas race car right there from the 1901 Paris-Berlin. Gotta love that. Okay, now there's another Pierce Aero, but this is a little later than that first one. This is the 07. And then we got another one right there. A couple of Pierces. How beautiful is that?
to fire up St. Louis for the trip home.
They're coming with us. Pull out into the street just so I'm not blocking the way. I'll probably go around to the other side so I'm not blocking the cars. So I'll be in that parking lot.
Top of the hill. I'll walk up.
Thankfully, we all arrived safe and sound. It was time to not only breathe a sigh of relief that these cars made the journey, but to also do a bit of fun as well as reflect upon the journey we had all just taken.
Can't use the telephone from the beginning of the time of the telephone. Today, the way we use the telephone, we can use this car the same way we can, and that's magic.
And how are you? So how are you feeling now that you've come back from this, 41-mile tour? You feel like this is a good birthday present for you today?
This is one of the most extraordinary birthdays I've ever had in my life. I've had lots of them, and I think there are very few that can possibly compare to this one. I think to be able to celebrate it with all of these people I know, people I don't know, total strangers on the road, waving as we drove by, and the feeling of being in this car, it's amazing. It's the best gift I could have possibly given to myself.
Excellent. What do you think about the turnout?
The turnout was fantastic, and it's just the beginning. I mean, we see with the enthusiasm of the participants, the enthusiasm of the spectators, the enthusiasm of the state police. This is going to be a really big thing, and to be here at the start of this is wonderful.
Nick Waller said we're going to be doing this for many years to come.
Many years to come, and always on my birthday. Not for many years to come.
All right.
It was an incredible tour, and the thrill of having been part of the inaugural Audrain Veteran Car Tour was riding high in the moment, and we all wanted to make the moment live on.